That makes sense. What I do, how much money?
Live already. She's gonna present. She's gonna present.
And I'm saying that the screen is black.
Yeah, the screen is on for presentation.
It's only about the oh, okay. Nice audience.
Come on. Okay.
Afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Olivia Williams School, clinical nurse manager, and I will be your moderator for this afternoon. Welcome. However, we're just gonna give 5 minutes more for your persons to join. Approximately 5 minutes for your persons to join us on join us on very well. Okay? Thank you.
Hang on. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be true to my word. It's exactly 5 minutes later. The Department of Nursing presents the annual Olive Ennival Memorial Lecture. Our theme for this afternoon, for nurses or future, the economic power of care. The late Maya Angelou stated, as a nurse, we have the opportunity to heal the mind, soul, heart, and body of our patients, their families, and ourselves. They may forget your name, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Miss Olive Ennival's impact on the University Hospital of the West Indies, the way she made us feel, is the reason we are here today, as we have not forgotten her. Help me at this point to welcome Mrs. Tanya Dalbert Mogasil, Nursing Coordinator, with your opening. There are we come before this nation. We want to thank you, may God, at your guidance. We pray that your presence will be with us this afternoon. We ask that you help us to remember your love and goodness, and we pray for your service to you and our family. Give us patience and understanding, and I pray that today's will be blessed, and everyone offense, physically and online, will be glad. Thank you for your grace, thank you for your mercy, thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Mrs. Gabriel. How are we doing today? We're doing great. It's very nice and cool. Yeah, very hot and cool. And God for the AC. Yes, yes, awesome. Let me just give you two changes to our program. So under where we have the NEJ Presents message, this will be delivered by Mrs. Margaret Forbes, Nursing Director. And at the very end of your program, the vote of thanks will be done by Mrs. Julian Alexander, Nursing Director. You know, I was going through my phone earlier and I saw a little meme about nurses and I found it interesting because I've never seen it before. I just want you to read it. It says nurses are pineapple, are like pineapple. Tough on the outside, sweet on the inside, and will stick you if you roll it around. Yeah, that's right. Agreed. At this time, I am going to welcome our Senior Director of Nursing, Mrs. Helena Thompson, with greetings. Put your hands together for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On this, the 50th anniversary of International Nurses Day, I know that was yesterday and we're still celebrating today. It is my distinct pleasure to extend greetings to the phenomenal nursing staff of the University Hospital of the West Indies and indeed the wider nursing community. This is a day when we again take the time to acknowledge the immeasurable contribution of nurses and our impact on healthcare. There is indeed no healthcare system that functions successfully without nurses. The theme for this year, our nurses, our future, the economic power of care, is a call to action for nurses, the administration of the healthcare organizations, and indeed the nation at large. As posited by the President of the International Council of Nurses, Pamela Cipriano, while we thank nurses for their services to health, healing, and the well-being of our communities and the world, it is the time to examine its impact on the economy. We contribute to ensuring a healthy workforce for the advancement and development of the nations. It is therefore now the time for a change in the perception of nurses and nursing. A time to strategize for greater investment in nurses. It is well known that very often In times of financial crisis and the need for budgetary constraints, it is often nursing which is hit first. On this, the 50th anniversary of International Nurses Day, I challenge our organization and the nation to invest appropriately in nurses. Invest in education, a healthy work environment, the proper tools to get the job done, just to name a few. The return on such investment will be well worth it. To our nurses, I say, hold yourselves and your colleagues accountable for the provision of quality care. Ensure the maintenance of the required standards and play your part in the economic power of care. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the celebrations.
Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. After so many years of being a nurse, I must say I still enjoy being a nurse. But you know, it's different when you're on the side of the patient. And Pope Francis commented on that. He said, a caress, a smile, is full of meaning for one who is sick. It is a simple gesture, but encouraging. He or she feels accompanied, feels closer to being healed, feels like a person, not a number. I have experienced that, and that is the power that we have as nurses. I encourage you today. Be that person that gives that smile, that helps the patient to be accompanied, unalone, that there's somebody who cares for them, even as they seek care. At this point, I'm going to ask Mrs. Margaret Forbes, Nursing Director, to come to deliver the Nurses Association of Jamaica President's message.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, nurses. Welcome. And I hope you all had a good International Nurses Day yesterday. Some persons were out in the field, enjoying themselves all over. And I know it was Mother's Day too. So for those who are mothers, I also hope you had a fabulous Mother's Day. So I was given the task of presenting the President's message for International Nurses Day, which was yesterday, May 12, 2024. Very said, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. I greet you warmly on this International Nurses Day from the Nurses Association of Jamaica, officers and executive members. The International Nurses Day is celebrated each year on May 12 in recognition of the birth of Florence Nightingale, who was born on this day in Florence, in Italy, in 1820. She was a social reformer, statistician, and the founder of modern nursing. One of her greatest achievements was to perform nursing in the respectable profession. Today, we build on the legacy of this transformational nurse. ICN, which is the International Council of Nurses, is a federation of more than 130 national nurses associations around the world, representing over 28 million nurses. Every year, an IND kit is prepared, circulated to all NNAs as a guide as a guide to the combination celebration of the day. This year, the theme is our nurses, our future, the economic power of care. Despite being the backbone of healthcare, nursing often faces financial constraints and social undervaluation. IND aims to reshape perspective, demonstrating high strategy, investing in nursing can bring considerable economic and social benefits. That is from Dr. Pamela Capriano, ICN's president. At a time such as this, we seek to embrace the profession of nursing. We honor our nurses who continue to work through adverse situations and under duress in the existing poor work environment. The lack of resources continue to be the voice of the advocacy body as we seek to ensure that government is held accountable for providing the necessary resources needed to provide care for our clients. Remuneration continues to be a struggle as we seek to remain financially stable in the existing economy. This causes the advocacy body to remain in constant dialogue with the relevant stakeholders as we seek to get what is deserving and to ensure that we remain relevant financially. The socio-economic welfare of our members remain foremost in our discussions with the government. It is our hope that all stakeholders would recognize the influence that comes through quality healthcare, recognize that nurses make up the majority of the healthcare provision workforce, and that it is important that we all understand our roles in shaping the perceptions of the profession and the professional. In the executive summary of ICN 2024 IND reports, we are reminded that investments that increase the productivity or the health workforce result in good health, economic growth, job creation, and productive gains in other sectors. ICN advances nursing, nurses, and health through its policies, partnership, advocacy, leadership development, network, campaigns, congresses, and special projects. ICN believes that the economic power of care creates healthy people and societies and drives healthy economies. People COVID remind us, I am not a product of circumstances. I am a product of decision. As we go out in our different facilities and our various disciplines, always remember that you made the decision to become a nurse. Be the best nurse you can be. Perform your duties responsibly. Be reminded of your commitments to professionalism and your ethical responsibility. Let us not be weary in well-doing, but let us join hands, heart, resources to continue to fly the banner of nursing higher as we seek to make our voices heard, creating a positive impact on lives of those that we interact with. The Nurses Association of Jamaica will continue to work on behalf of membership to meet the stated mandates and to propel the profession to its highest attainable levels. We will continue to engage our critical stakeholders on matters of interest to the profession and to continue to blaze the trail as we remain united in service. And this comes from our president, Dawn Marie Richards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Forbes, for the presentation on behalf of our NAG president. You know, one thing that I really like in the address by Mrs. Richards, and you have it, you can have a look at it. And it wasn't read, but it stands out to me. It says, alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. And that's a quote from Helen Keller. And it is so relevant for us today, especially for us as nurses. Jamaicans say one man go call. If we come together, we can achieve much. So let us put hands and hearts together to be the best nurse, to make University Hospital the best hospital, to make Jamaica the best that it can be. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Sheikha Walcott, Quality Improvement Officer, to come and tell us a little bit more about Miss Olive.
Good afternoon, everyone. The late Miss Olive Mayumi Eliver. Miss Eliver, affectionately called her angel by some of her students, was the first appointed principal tutor of the University Hospital of West Indies School of Nursing in 1958, a post she held until 1966. Two outstanding achievements by Ms. Eliver were the development of a library in the School of Nursing with the able assistance of Ms. Isabel Smith, clinical tutor. The other was the establishment of an open day. This started with the exhibition of photographs and mementos associated with the nursing profession. In the School of Nursing to celebrate Florence Nightingale's birthday, this humble beginning in 1963 led to the National Nurses Week programs that are now in place. We recognize her contribution with gratitude. After Ms. Eliver retired from the University Hospital of the West Indies, she took up a position at the University of the West Indies in the Department of Social and Preventative Medicine under the leadership of Professor Kenneth Standard. It was in the field of community health, working in collaboration with Professor Kenneth Standard, that she perhaps made her most outstanding contribution in the development of community health program and the publication of the Community Health Manual. This program has been lauded as one of the significant contributions to primary health care in Jamaica and in the Caribbean region. Ms. Eliver was a faithful associate member of the former University Hospital of the West Indies School of Nursing, League of Nurses, along with our lovely speaker, along with her friend, Ms. Mary Fletcher. They hardly missed any of the league's functions. The former league, in honoring her memory, instituted an annual Olive Eliver Memorial Lecture on International Nurses Day in her school president.
We have had so many trailblazers that have come to the University Hospital of the West Indies. Put your hands together again for Miss Olive Mayumi. Now we're at very exciting part of our program because there is a beautiful lady that is going to be coming to us shortly to speak to us. And I have known this lady for a long time. So like I can't add any more dates to what? Ms. Walford has already dated, but this is somebody I knew coming into nursing that helped to pave the way forward. But I won't say anymore. I'm going to call on the well-able Ms. Shauna K. Thompson, Quality Improvement Officer, to tell you a little bit about our guest. Good afternoon, everyone. It is with pleasure that I introduce our guest speaker for this afternoon. Mrs. Claudette James stands as a towing figure
in the realm of nursing with an illustrious career spanning some 42 years, marked by unwavering dedication and an unyielding commitment to the advancement of healthcare. Renowned as a senior nursing professional, her journey is a testament to leadership, compassion, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. With a diverse background encompassing administration, leadership, midwifery, medical, surgical, and nephrology nursing, Mrs. James has been a cornerstone of the University Hospital of the West Indies for over 4 decades. Her tenure at the University Hospital, characterized by effective leadership and a steadfast adherence to international standards, has been instrumental in shaping the provision of patient care, setting benchmarks for quality and professionalism. Passionate about nurturing the next generation of nurses and elevating standards of practice, Mrs. James has been a guiding light in fostering professionalism and excellence in patient care. Her advocacy for the development of nursing is not confined to hospital corridors. It extends to academia and policy realms, where she has left an indelible mark through roles as a past adjunct lecturer at Houston Mona and as a member of the Specialty Advisory Board for Graduate Studies and the Management and Legislative Committees of the Nursing Council of Jamaica. Mrs. James's expertise transcends clinical realms, extending it to leadership and management. Her proficiency in areas such as negotiation, succession planning, coaching, and project management has been instrumental in driving strategic development and organizational growth. Her recent role as a consultant program development officer at the Ministry of Health and Wellness underscores her continued dedication to advancing healthcare on a national scale. Her contributions to nursing and healthcare have been duly recognized as evidenced by prestigious accolades such as National Honor, Medal of Honor for Meritorious Service in Health. Beyond her professional endeavors, Mrs. James finds fulfillment in community engagement and service. Whether mentoring pregnant teen mothers, leading congregational stewardship at Providence Methodist Church, or imparting knowledge to parent craft classes, she epitomizes the spirit of altruism and compassion. In her pursuit of excellence, Mrs. Claudette James has not only shaped the present landscape of nursing, but has also laid a foundation for a brighter, healthier future. As she continues to inspire and empower, her legacy serves as a beacon of hope and a testament to the transformative power of nursing. Help me welcome Mrs. Claudette James.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
One of my babies.
Give it the energy. Give it the energy. Listen to me. We're nurses, you know, and we have come together to talk about one of our stalwarts. We need to keep the energy. Our nurses, our future, the economic power of care. Madam Chair, our Senior Director Nursing Services, Mrs. Helena Thompson, members of the organizing committee, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's really with humility that I attempt to address you at this annual audit interval.
memorial lecture under the theme, Our Nurses, Our Future, the Economic Power of Care. I commend Mrs. Thompson and the team of trial officers. Trial officers. They know what I'm saying. For coordinating this event, and I join you in recognizing one of our nursing stalwarts who laid the foundation for nursing education and practice. First slide. You know her? Anybody know her? That's Miss Ediver in her garden, taken many years ago. So now you have a picture of who we are talking about, yes? Let me ignore about 10 seconds. All right. Now I'm just going to share with you something she has done for us in nursing and the health services. That's why we're sitting pretty today. And we need to recognize what she has done for us. So the early years, and some of it was said already. Early years, yes. She was born in Mandeville. She was an Anglican, I hear. And she attended the Manchester Secondary School, where she attained the Cedar Cambridge certificate. She worked in the private sector at first. And after leaving secondary school, in January 1944, she entered the Nuttall Memorial Hospital as an apprentice nursing student and graduated as a registered general nurse on January 8, 1947 at our Memorial Hospital. On July 29, 1947, 6 months after she graduated, you know what she did? She went to start midwifery at Victoria Jubilee Hospital. She don't make grass grow on her foot. She just move. You know? Yes. She has a purpose. She had a purpose. So the Victoria Jubilee Lining Hospital. Anybody know about that? Yes. And graduated on January 28, 1948. Between 1948 and 1949, she worked as a staff nurse, then acting assistant in the Town Memorial Hospital. In December 1949, she received a scholarship which was granted under the Colonial Welfare and Development Scheme overseas. Because remember, in those days, everything came from Britain to us. This scholarship was to prepare nurses for ward administration in the London Teaching Hospital, Guy's and St. George's. This was to prepare senior nurses to assume administrative duties, you know where? At the university, at the soon-to-be opened University College Hospital. So she was sent away to be prepared to come back and work here. Now, as an educator, she received sponsorship to pursue the Sister Tutors Diploma course at the Royal College of Nursing in the University of Edinburgh, 1954 to 1955. When she returned, she assumed a Sister Tutor's post right here at the University College Hospital School of Nursing, UCHSN. And in 1962, she was promoted to the post of principal tutor, where she served until her retirement. She was the first Jamaican to hold that position in this hospital. In those days, everyone came from overseas. She was the first Jamaican. Now, under her administration, she did quite a number of things, and things that we are taken for granted today. Shouldn't, but something like that. Things that she has, that she developed and introduced for us. Physics and chemistry. We have it in our program, yes? This was introduced in 1964. Now, time was very limited for the nursing students to go through their full curriculum. So you know what she did? In order to ensure that adequate time was made for the students' exposure to these subjects, it was arranged that they would get theory in their class, and the practical sessions were held at the university's physics and chemistry laboratories on Saturdays. So students had to come. She was making sure, right, that the students, this increased the students' awareness of the application of these sciences in the practice of nursing. Continuing education for graduates. I think it's just now talking about continuing education. This was another area that was addressed. Therefore, in 1964 and 1965, 2 6 months post-RN pediatric courses were conducted at this school of nursing. In 1963, a room was identified for the establishment of a library. Some of you don't know. The Canadian Nurses Association contributed several books for this library. And as was said before, Mrs. Isabel Smith, she was a clinical tutor. She organized the setting up of the library, which provided an area now for the students to read and to conduct research. And lots of us benefited from that school, our library. Curriculum revision she introduced to include a stronger focus on health, community health, in keeping with the trend of preventive healthcare. She was a veterinarian, no joke about it. She demonstrated the value of team, as on a continuing basis exhibiting her recognition of the tutors in the school. Dr. Hewitt, who spoke with her, said that she always, when she asked to find out exactly what do you do, she always spoke of the team, all the contributions of all. And as I go through, I want us to reflect on how she went about her business of developing nursing in Jamaica. Let us look at ourselves as I go along. The other thing, she demonstrated the value of sharing of information to strengthen the standards, ensuring uniformity of nursing education and practice across the health services. She didn't keep things to her breast. What she had here, she shared. Now, the block system that was first established here provided breaks for nursing students from the strenuous ward duties and reminded the clinical staff that they were students. People like myself, the apprenticeship system. Oh, you're too young for that. Right? Where we were taught of as part of the staff. Right? No, she introduced that block system, and what it did, it laid the seed for the issue of full student status. Most of you came up relaxing on student status. She realized that the students were to be treated as such and not just pushed into the workforce. Now, this innovation was shared with Miss Swaby, who was head of the Kingston Public Hospital Teaching Department. That's the School of Nursing, right? So she shared that with her. And Miss Swaby considered it and introduced a modified block system at the school. So that's sharing. And the two heads of schools, there was that sort of respect and sharing between the two heads of schools. That was very evident as the focus at that time, and we need to continue it, was the development of nursing education and practice across the country. Let us not hold it, but we spread it. When we have a success, share it. She went to regulation. As principal tutor, she worked closely with the General Nursing Council of Jamaica, the GNCJ, now the Nursing Council of Jamaica. And she was nominated as a member. She worked closely with them because of her position here, but she was also nominated as a member in 1963. Here she served on the registration and the examination and education committees. She was passionate about the development of nursing and midwifery. And on these committees, she impacted the education, decision-making processes relating to nursing and midwifery. She also participated in decisions pertaining to the use of experimental syllabus of the General Nursing Council from England and Wales. They were looking at it first. She also participated in the accreditation for KPH students to gain their pediatric experiences at Bustamante Hospital for Children. At that time, it was camp, or park camp, right, that they had this hospital. She was also involved in the registration for nurses trained outside of Jamaica, the decisions there. Revision of the Nurses and Midwives Act of 1964. The introduction of advanced nursing education at the University College West of the West Indies. And you know that the Advanced Nursing Education Unit was established in 1966. And a lot of us benefited from that. It's still going there, the whole matter of nursing education at no use. She was the Nursing Council of Jamaica representative at the meeting held at the Ministry of Health to discuss legislation for practical nurses. So it was not just nurses and midwives, but they were looking at the auxiliaries from that time. She went over to primary health, as was said before, that after she retired from school care, she joined the team, recognizing the need for a strong and dedicated public health team. Ms. Enver joined the staff of the Department of Social and Preventive Medicine as a research assistant, where she continued to impact Jamaica's health services. You see where she started? She jumped from one to midwifery. She got her training, educator, and she's spreading her wings. Think about yourselves. I'm not just here to just talk and you just think about yourselves. In late 1967, when the department explored the possibility of recruiting suitable persons from the community to become health aides, a public health equivalent to the hospital auxiliary workers, because remember we had the ward attendants at that time. She coordinated the pilot community health aid program. And you notice that the community health aid program is a big thing now. Yeah? Where it's coming from is a biggie because, of course, the whole business of the health reform in community health. That is coming up on us. Okay. Ms. Enver, she co-authored papers with the late Professor Kenneth Standard that impacted the expansion and strengthening of the public health services, which included community medicine, the Commonwealth Caribbean, and the community health aids training program that was mentioned earlier. So she wrote, she coordinated, she just fixed things, and she just had her mind out there with whatever is happening. I'm involved. She's not retired, you know, and she's doing these things, right? Just remember, keep that in mind, that you don't sit still and let grass grow over you. In the professional organization, service for strengthening the profession of nursing appeared to be one of Ms. Enver's hallmarks. As she served in several areas in the Jamaica General Trained Nurses Association, now the Nurses Association of Jamaica. And I know that everyone sitting here is a member, without a doubt. I know that. Or you're not going to go through that door without filling up. Let's visit. Right. She served on the Building and Fundraising Committee, very important committee for any organization. In 1957, she was on the program committee for summer school. In the launch yesterday, of course, every year on International Nurses Day, we launch summer school, which we now enjoy. She was part of forming those committees for us to enjoy now. She served as second vice president and then first vice president of the Nurses Association of Jamaica. Who you're thinking? She worked on the Jamaican Nurse, the committee of the Jamaican Nurse Journal. She was also on a committee that NAJ was looking at, the whole business of the practical nurses and the control of auxiliary personnel. I think it's still something that is still going on between the Nurses Association and the Nursing Council. Think about it and think of all the ways in terms of doing what ought to be done with our assisted personnel. She represented Jamaica regionally and internationally. And in 1955, she acted as proxy for the Jamaica General Trade Nurses Association's president at the ICN Board of Directors when they met in Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey. She published widely in the Jamaica Nurse Journal. What did it say? If you're members, you have to want a copy. Everybody here have a copy of the Jamaica Nurse Journal? Somebody's right here in front of them, you don't even know. Make sure that you get to look at it. Here's Mrs. Thompson. We need for all our nurses to know that is our official journal, you know, that we need to have persons. And at the Nurses Association of Jamaica, they have a library. And they welcome you to come and conduct your search. You'll be surprised what you find in there. Just a little add on this. But she published widely. I won't list, but there are several publications that she made in the Jamaican Journal manual. Miss Olive Enevo is a visionary trailblazer, nurse extraordinaire. She has left her footprints in the evolution of the profession of nursing and Jamaica's health services. We've come a long way, baby. You know that? From all those struggles back there. But guess what? You hear her complaining? She just pull up and roll up her feet and say, listen, this is happening out there, I'm getting involved. No. As we observe the 2024 theme for International Nurses Day, our nurses, our future, and our nurses, our future has been part of the International Nurses Day themes for the last, I think, 5 years or so. But this year, the focus is on the economic power of care. So as we focus on it, let it don't just fly over us. If you should go on the road and they say, you're a nurse, what is the theme for International Nurses Day? You must know. You must know and have an idea of what it means for you or for nursing in general. That's how it is. We must walk the talk. Sorry, I'm not preaching. Anyway. So let us reflect on it through Mrs. Enevo's legacy, through her eyes. Her innovations. She came to the school, the first black person to take it on, and she moved with it. She didn't just relax and let other persons come in and say, you must do that, you must do that. She moved with it. She just looked out there and she moved with whatever is to be done. She had students coming out on Saturday. I think students, they love to come out on a Saturday, but they have to. Suppose now you're in a course and they say you have to come out on Saturday. All kind of complaints and gripes. But they knew they had to do it, and she made them understand the value of being involved in the practical aspects of these subjects, you know, for nursing practice. Right? So let us look at her innovations. How proactive she was. How committed she was, her commitment, her dedication, her participation in developing and strengthening of nursing education and practice. And not only nursing alone, you know, midwifery, because in the regulatory body, she had to be involved in midwifery decisions, the midwifery decisions that impacted midwifery. So not only nursing. Okay? All of these of her activities were fueled by her vision of the future, our nurse, our future of nursing and Jamaica's health services. Because once we are sharp, the health services are sharp, right? Because of course we are the ones that sharpen it. We are the backbone. If we don't, everything drop. You know that, right? And we need to demonstrate that by our walk and our talk. What will really emanate from this role model? While I was speaking, I tell you that I don't want to have a quiz, but I will further a quiz of the things that she looked at and delivered on for the development and strengthening of nursing in Jamaica. So what can we take from her? What legacy will we leave behind us when we're gone? What is it that persons can look back and say, this person did thing, and that's why I'm enjoying this now, right? Please, how will we contribute to our future? Validating the economic power of care. Anybody want to answer that? Just a thought, how can we go about it? Validating. Don't be afraid, all of us are nurses. All of us doing the same training. You may have, some person may have more years of experience above the others. But I didn't recognize it. We have two gentlemen here, right? And in those days we had no male nurses, but we have evolved. Fabulous. How do you think we can validate the economic power of care? Anybody? Think on these things. We could argue, we could protest the inequities in the health environment, as was read in the message from the president, where the first thing that is to be taken when there's an economic struggle is the things that will help us on our tools and so on, right? Our quarry, don't it? The money gone and so on, and the business with us and all of that. So we could argue about the inequities in the health environment. That as a backbone of the health services, we're making decisions and doing values. We are saying on a continuing basis that as the backbone of the health services, they must call us to the table. We all agree? How do we make them call us? How are we going to have them call us to the table? What do we do about it to get ourselves there? How many of us have thought of writing an article in the paper about nursing so that Jamaican people will know what nurses are doing? Have we talked about it? Just make a thing like to the editor about something. Just a thought. All the things that's happening right now. Not necessarily health, but everything impacts health. Everything impacts health. So we could argue or protest. But let me make a few suggestions that we could look at. Stop complaining. That's the first thing. Stop saying it's them doing things out there. This element, remember, in the readings that I have received, I have not seen any place where she protested that they were doing this with us out there and it was not fair. So let us stop complaining. Demonstrate our value through the introduction of innovations. It's innocent. Mrs. Thompson, they need to flood the office. Any of the nurses come and say, listen, Mrs. Thompson, this and this is happening. Don't you think we could do this way? Innovations. Right, for Mr. Mitchell to look at us a little bit more serious. But we're looking at innovations, and it doesn't have to be anything big that will strengthen the health services and reshape. We're talking about the perception and improve the perceptions of our professions. And I'm talking about nursing and midwifery. Invite ourselves and we'll be called to the table. A meeting is happening, find out and invite ourselves to the table. Trust them. Demonstrate care in our practice. Care. Support and nurture our nursing students. When they come to the ward, do we ignore them or do we nurture them? We're talking about the value. What are we talking about? The whole matter of the economic value of caring. If we care for our nursing students, they will come in. They will do well enough if they feel that they are part of the whole team. So we need to nurture them. Conduct research. That's a bad word. It's good for the soul. Conduct research and apply findings to practice. Don't just conduct the research and you put, all of us conduct research. Who here has never conducted a research study? Because it's part of your curriculum. Yeah. Whatever course you're pursuing, you're forced to conduct research. What have you done with the product? The results. See the QA persons them out there, you know? Attack them with it. And let them know that this, I conducted this at the university, hospital of the West, and I think something can be done about X, Y. Right? Remember, we're talking about, let me get back to my point, the economic power of care. All of those things point to the whole business of caring and improving the economic power, demonstrating the economic power of care. So let us start conducting. I know that we have a research day. We've had one already this year, right? But what are the studies? What have they done with it? Ms. Walford and your team and Mrs. Alexander, they bring it to you and try to see what can be done about this. Remain current with changes in the health environment. Don't fight it. Remain current and see how much information you can get to prepare yourselves when it's here. Right? And now we are in IT across the university hospital. Who is trying to get a little bit more? Because it's not going to just stay at one level. Right? So remain current with the changes in the health environment. Serve and serve and serve again with passion. You saw in her work how many areas she went in. And she was involved in this. She didn't hide from the fundraising. She didn't hide from the battles in terms of getting things done for the nurses and so on. So serve with a passion. God passionately the professions of nursing and midwifery. God it with your heart. Don't let anyone mess with it. Your colleagues, you pull them up. They are fooling around because it's our profession. It's our future. Right? And we are demonstrating on a continuing basis the economic power of care. That we are the bosses in the division of caring. Do you agree? You can teach anybody about caring. Yes? So colleagues, after my message, my sermon, let us continue to honor the contribution, the memories of our colleagues who have laid the foundation for our professions. Let's not forget them. But also let us have our footprints in the whole business of moving and strengthening our profession. Just care. That's all we need enough. Just care. And everything will fall in place. My appreciation, I must share with you my appreciation to Dr. Herbie Hughes, who was very forthright
in sharing information on Miss Eleanor. When I called her, she said, I have some information. She's our historian, you know. You can call her, you know. Did you know that? Because if you need to find something, and that's how we should network. Just be able to call the person and say to them, can you help me with this? And we just spread it. So let's continue to care. Let's continue to hold the beacon of nursing, professionalism high, and persons will come around. We're not hoping, you know, we're telling them that they're going to do it. We're not hoping, not dying in consent spring. They are going to come around to recognize the economic value of caring, which we are the experts, the consultants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. James. Miss Olive Eleanor, an awesome nursing staff. She did enough things, not true. Nothing. And we are the recipients of those today. Mrs. James, in her message to us today, is asking us to improve perception of nursing. We know hard work. Yeah? Let us allow the persons on the outside to see us for who we are and what we have done. Invite ourselves to the table. Let us support our nursing students. Is there whoever work next to a couple years down the road? Not true. Yes. They're gonna care for us as well. Let us conduct nursing research, my Lord. And then apply the findings to practice. But most of all, let us guard passionately the profession of nursing activity. For me, nursing is a calling. It is near and dear to my heart. And no matter how bad it gets, I'm a nurse, always and forever. Eleanor Roosevelt said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So nurses, dream beautiful dreams and believe in those dreams, and the future will be yours. And lastly from me, let no one ever come to you without living better and happier. Yes? Put your hands together and let us welcome Mrs. Julian Alexander, who will move her vote of thanks for the seat. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes. Esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the organizing committee and the Department of Nursing, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who took time out to grace us with your presence today at our annual Olive Eleanor Memorial Lecture. It has been an honor and a privilege to come together to celebrate the life and the legacy of Miss Olive Eleanor, a pioneer in nursing whose contributions continue to inspire us all. We are profoundly grateful for our esteemed guest speaker, Mrs. Claudette James, whose insightful and inspiring lecture has enriched our minds, invigorating our spirits. Mrs. James, your wealth of knowledge and experience and your unwavering commitment to excellence in nursing serve as a guiding light, reminding us all of how important it is to be a nurse. Your words have ignited a flame of passion within us, reminding us of the profound impact nursing can have on the lives of individuals, communities, and globally. As we reflect on your words, let us not forget the countless nurses who have dedicated their lives, their time, their energy, their thoughts to the noble profession of nursing. In the words of Florence Nightingale, to do what nobody else will do, a way that nobody else can, in spite of all we go through. That is a nurse. I would also like to express my deepest appreciation to those who have contributed to the success of this event. I would like to thank Mrs. Heron, who gave permission for us to occupy this beautiful space. Mrs. Lewis, she had to leave, but she's our secretary and she is also a resident decorator and go-to person. I must thank her. Mr. Harrison, who is now a part of us. Every time we need something, Mr. Harrison, you are here, and I really do appreciate you. To the members of the organizing committee, and those who have been recently co-opted, a lot of these members don't know that they are members of the committee until they speak with me. And so, this event would not have been possible without you and your tireless work behind the scenes. All right, your support and your dedication have been instrumental in bringing this event to fruition. Thank you so much. I would also be amiss if I left here without saying that we carry the lessons that we have learned and the inspiration that we have gained from this lecture. Let us strive to uphold the legacy of Miss Olive Eniver and all those who have come before us as we continue to advance the frontiers of nursing and the healthcare profession. Again, thank you all for your presence and your participation. I'm going to ask Ms. Brissett to join me at this point in time. I am going to invite her to give our guest speaker a token of our appreciation. And at the end of that, I'm going to ask you all to join us at the back for a small reception. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. I know International Nurses Day was yesterday, but happy International Nurses Day because I'm seeing you today. Happy belated Mother's Day to those persons who I did not see yesterday and who I did not reach yesterday. And the gentlemen in the room, I hope you did your mothers and your spouses well and proud for the Mother's Day. Ms. Brissett, you please present. Thank you, everyone.
I think it's okay.
Thank you. Please join us for the stage. The next president was an abbreviation, so you can have points.
Videos though, in history, right? Not I finish. Yeah, man. Alright, cool.